Hi, ladies and jump starters. This is Beth, and I'm here with Molly Hathaway from Mollywogs Organizing.
Hey.
How are you
Hi.
today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Molly is my next hot seat interview, and we're going to be talking about all about her business and all the things that she does and how she is thriving in Michigan as a professional organizer. So, first of all, I would love to know what your life was like before you found organizing. I know you're a wife and a mom. What were you doing before you finally got into this crazy little business?
Well, before I was even a mom, I was a teacher for 10 years and I'm an artist. And so I taught for 10 years and then I moved up to Michigan from Texas. And then I stayed home for 10 years and the kids went to school and I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do, like whether I was going to go back to teaching or so I've been in the painting, being an artist / substitute teaching mode. So that's what I was doing before I started this.
Great.
But I was looking for something more. Like, honestly, I needed something more than that. It's just not, it wasn't enough.
Yeah. So when did you figure out organizing was a thing? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start doing research. When was that?
Well, I was watching the home edit and I just totally binge watched it. And then I made my husband binge watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so I could totally do all of that. I could totally do that. And he was like, yeah, I think you could really do that. So that's how we thought.
So
maybe we'll look into it.
Maybe a year ago, a little bit over a year ago when the show came out?
Yeah, it was in the summer of last year, 2020, summer of 2020. Okay. Yeah.
So you are really new. This is great. Okay.
Yeah.
So you watched the show, you thought I can do everything that they're doing, no problem.
Yeah.
And then how did you start your research and how did you find me in the group? How did that kind of come about?
Well, I am a researcher, so but I really just started doing little jobs. So they said start with a drawer, or I ordered their books and I just started practicing on my house and taking pictures. My cat. Yeah. So I practiced. So it was like my kids went to school and I felt like I was avoiding home and I was trying to figure out why. And I think that's why I started that show. And it was like, I love our home. It's our dream home. We renovated this place, so it would be just how we want it. But it just seems like no matter how often we cleaned up, it was always cluttered and stressful. And I always feel like I can never relax. And so that's how I started watching that show. And that's how, that's how we kind of got on that. And so I started, reading the books and it said to start with your junk drawer. And that's how I started. So so that's how it started.
Okay, great. And then as far as like Facebook groups, did you kind of do a search on Facebook?
Oh, right.
Google? Yeah. How did you find me?
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where I'm just like, I want to find my people. So I looked on Facebook groups for, the home edit or organizing and, but it was more than just, I guess I wanted more than just tips and tricks because I feel like I can figure that out. I mean, you can research things like that. I mean, YouTube, there's a lot of good information as far as doing it yourself. But I just felt like, I don't know. I just felt this like I was supposed to go find more. So I started looking for Facebook groups and I didn't really know what I was looking for. And I found your group. It was just the home edit. I don't know the exact name.
Yeah, the home edit organized group. Right.
Yeah. And so it seemed like you had some stuff on there, but I've hired coaches before or subscriptions for help. And it's just, it seemed like I just jumped into those things. So I was just kind of waiting and seeing I just figured it would take a while. Sure. So I just kind of I don't know. I wasn't even thinking of that for me. So like, I didn't want to tell my husband, here's another thing that I want to do. So.
Right. So when you found me in the home edit group, I remember clicking on your name and looking at you had already had a Facebook page, a business page.
Oh, right. I made a group page. I made a group
page. It's a group. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went in there, you had all these great photos. You had, I know your Instagram photos are amazing. And I thought, this girl looks legit. I'm sure she's working already. I'm sure she's got a following and she's got subs and she's got all this stuff going on. So your presence online was really good. I thought you were an established organizer already. So you impressed me right out the gate. Yeah.
Well, that's what was so funny. I've been an artist online for a while. And so had been working on my presence and just sharing and learning how to do videos or doing time-lapse videos and taking pictures of my paintings is challenging. And I had to research that. So, so I set up that group because I figured, that's what I can do is start inviting people to join my group. And then I had no idea what to do. And so I had all the pictures and basically everything I learned how to do for my art page. I was applying it to this, but I had no idea. I had no clients. I had zero clients. So
you didn't have any clients. I was shocked because
no, not one.
Good thing to be, because you have that presence first, then you start getting clients. So that's good.
Yeah.
So tell me about, so you took my mini course. Tell me about, jumping into that and how all that process worked.
Yeah. So you reached out to me and I talked about it with my husband, and I think it was when we talked that I felt like when it was a one-time fee, so at least we would know, we'll roll the dice and see. Yes. But I said, honey, I have to do something. Like, I can't, this isn't enough. Like, I always thought that if I could just paint every day, that would be enough for me, but it's not. I mean, painting is awesome, but I need to solve problems and use my brain, and not like art painting isn't, but I like to solve problems. I love to work with people to solve problems. And the harder it is, the more I like it. And it was like, we knew we'd been praying through what I was going to do. And, I felt like God was telling me, wait, which is great because I was ready to jump back into teaching, and it was COVID. So that would have been not very fun no matter what. Right. Doing online video teaching with middle schoolers. So I felt like God said, wait. And so I was waiting, which was really hard. And so it's like we had already been prepped. We were waiting to see an opportunity. Yeah. And so, when that came up, we talked about it. I said, honey, honestly, even if it doesn't work, I have to do something. So I have to try something. And I mean, I want to, and I don't, I said, I'll sell some paintings and pay for it back if it doesn't work out,
Right. Okay. So you're in my mini group and we send you all the documentation and we send you all the stuff. So what were your first couple steps, and how did you dive in, and how did you get your first client? How did that all go?
Well, I got all the documents and I basically did everything you told me to. I figured, and that's when we talked too. I think that was one of the main things that I said, I'm really good with people. I'm really good at organizing. I'm really bad at business and marketing. And I know for sure because I have tried in my art business and it hasn't, worked out that well. I just don't know what I don't know. And so I remember you saying, well, that's perfect because that's my specialty. And I was like, well, that's great because that would help. And you were just very generous. I feel like I could start, like, all the documents in themselves were so helpful. Like a contract that you had put together with, your like attorney or something, right? Or so, or like, talking about taxes and talking about tracking things and, the way to go through a consult and how it was just all ready. And it was also not just ready, but it had been based on you working for a while. So it was like some tried and true. And then when you're talking about getting clients, it said, here's my top 12 ways to get clients. And so I just did every single thing on there. I just went down the checklist and I just did it all. Because I said, well, Beth is doing it, so why can't I? And I'm old enough, I'm 44, I'm old enough to know when, it's just time to, it's not like it would hurt to just try. So why try to reinvent the wheel, right?
Exactly. So the other thing is you're only a couple hours from me. So you're in Michigan. We're probably dealing with some of the similar types of people and clients.
That was one of the reasons I thought it was good to talk to you, because I talked to a lot of people on the West Coast where I'm from originally.
So different out
and
there.
It's just not the same. It's not the same. The money's not the same. The mindset's not the same.
Correct.
And so it was helpful to talk to you because the way people deal with money and services here is different in the
Correct.
Midwest.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I thought that was also super helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so to get my first client, I mean, I figured, well, if it's going to take a while, I'm just going to keep doing all these things, setting up a bank account or,
Yes.
you know, and I felt so funny because I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff and I don't even have a client yet. But I figured, well, once I'm busy, I won't want to do these
Go back
things.
and do it. Right.
Right.
Everything
So
right.
I did it.
Everything
Right. So I did all those things. And I mean, I could tell you about my first consult, which is really funny. I don't know if you were there at the retreat in the room when we were talking about my first retreat or my first consult. And she had told me, that she probably couldn't afford it, but basically I got all my stuff. I had my folder. I had practiced, like you even had some phrases that you used that helped. And I'm like, this is the kind of stuff I want to learn. I'm open to learning. Feed me, and so I went in and, she already said she wasn't sure that she could afford it. I said, that's okay. It's a free consult. And I knew I needed the practice. So, and she's literally a few streets away. So I go in there and basically I told her my whole plan and basically just told her what to do. And somehow she didn't hire me. She did it herself. So but it was great. It's a funny story, but it was a great practice to cold call and walk in with a stranger in their home and say that I know how to do this. And so, and basically it's like, it can't get worse than that. And she was very kind. So I did not get that job. So the first job I got was on Thumbtack, which we can talk about, but she needed somebody like the next day. She had a heart surgery she was going in for, and she majorly needed her house done. And she's like, I know it's last minute. Is there any way you could even come tonight? And I was like, well, my kids are at, kids have church tonight and blah, blah, blah. And we started talking and we have all these things in common. And she just sent me the money. I mean, she just Venmo'd me the money.
You clicked with her on the phone and she sent you the money, right? Awesome.
Yeah. I wonder if we even talked on the phone. I think we might have just been all.
Quick. Okay. Incredible. Yeah. Incredible.
And it was like almost a whole condo, 2-bedroom condo. I mean, huge. Yeah. Huge. So my first client was, I know she was desperate and so was I. So, I figured there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
First job under the belt. Great.
Yeah. And she wasn't there a lot. She just would give me the keys. So it's like I could figure things out while she wasn't there. So that was kind of nice. I thought.
Time to evaluate things and implement. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
So the first retreat you came to, you were brand new. So just talk about that a little bit. We did that in March at my house. So I know you kind of had that like excitement in your eyes and you weren't quite sure, but I know you were excited. You talked a lot. You told us a lot about what you wanted to do. How did you feel like that to prepare you for what you were getting into the first time?
It was just funny. So I just got that first client and then I went and I was like, oh good, I'm not a pretender anymore or something like that, which was funny because everybody's on their own journey, but I actually almost didn't go. I was like, I just don't feel like I deserve to go. I don't even.
You came. So glad.
Seriously, my husband is the one that was like, Molly, those are your people. I think you need to go be with your people and do this for yourself. You've been doing the mom thing after being a professional for 10 years and go do this for yourself, even if it doesn't work out. I said, it's just, I don't know anybody and blah, blah, blah. And it was just really lovely. And it was really helpful. I mean, when I was there, I just couldn't figure out, besides meeting people and being encouraged just by being together, because I think women being together is just a powerful thing in itself. Yeah. Just being together, that we're not competitors, we are on the same team, I think is rare. But I was like, I don't know what, I mean, like, how do you, and so we talked over the stuff that was in the course but also hearing all the ladies there that were in different places, from newbie all the way to somebody who'd been doing it longer than any of us. And, just to hear those different perspectives. And I think it made it very real. I think it made it it helped me dream a little bit bigger instead of being like, ooh, if I can get started. It's like, no, it's like when I get started and what am I going to do in 5 years? Yeah. Instead of setting my bar so low. Yep.
That's why I love to have all different types of people at these retreats, because you can see, okay, like Lori, she's been doing this for years. She's got such great advice. if she can do it, you can do it. Just do what we're doing and it will all come together, right? You may not get every job, you may not get every single consult, but just keep going and make it work. Make it work for you. So okay, that retreat was in March. And then April, how was your April and your May? How many consults did you do? How many jobs did you get? How did it go the first couple months?
Well, I'm not as good as tracking as you are. I'm learning to track. Like if you don't have goals like that are trackable, I'm learning if you have trackable goals, you can make them. But let's see, in April, I mean, I think I had a few consults and I think I had a couple jobs.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I got most of the jobs that I consulted on. But I mean, one of them was here local and it was, $40 an hour, the lowest, because I was like, well, we'll just get it done, and did her whole house consult. And then she can't afford it per month. So or for a package price. And so she wanted to just do like three at a time. I was like, well, think about what you can afford per paycheck and just decide and hire me out for that each time. And so that's what she did. She was my second client, and that's what she did. She just, in fact, I mean, I still keep going there. So
that's great. That's awesome.
And so, so those first few, and then it picked up, I think once it went into packing season, it picked up a lot. Oh, also, as it went into warmer months, people love to do their basements and garages.
Yes.
And so I just got like tons of big jobs because it just happened to be a really good time for it. So
is that like June then, like the weather's warmer, people want to get this stuff cleaned up. Was it maybe June you started to really pick up?
Which they were all calling and booking in May, to get this. I swear it started earlier. Like, I mean, I think because of the packing started earlier. So around here anyway, the housing market has been super hot. And so tons of people have been, they put off traveling with COVID. And so then this year we have tons and tons of people traveling or moving and moving jobs. So there's lots of people who hired me on Thumbtack, that app, who had us pack whole, huge,
houses, right?
So we started with that, and then we got in the summer months, and it was the lots of basements and garages, lots of sweaty work.
That's fine.
Definitely.
That's good.
I know, right?
Just did a garage yesterday, and I still like doing them because it's a great job. You get in there, you do the work, and it looks great. It's hard not to make it.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Okay, no worries. How was your June? When was it? What was the first really good month you had?
I'm trying to remember the one that I was on. So my goal was to earn enough money so that we could go on all these vacations this summer, because we had been hunkered down. We couldn't even go see my family for Christmas. Right. So I was like, we're going to take all this money and go travel. So while I'm traveling, and I think you had told me about subcontractors, which we'll talk about probably in a minute, but where I could have girls that could help me. And so I'm managing all these huge jobs I had huge jobs, several huge jobs. And it funded all of our travel this summer, which was awesome. So I'm like traveling and I had my biggest month.
Yeah,
on my phone. And I'm like scheduling the girls on my phone. And so I think it was June or July. It was the biggest month, and I think it was 8,000 net.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's incredible. That is incredible. In just a few months, you're building this business. Amazing.
And I didn't have my LLC until February, so I mean, it was pretty crazy that. Yeah. And I mean, I remember asking you, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna do all these jobs. You're like subcontractors, so.
Yep. Let's talk about that. So how did you find your subcontractors? Obviously, you needed them. How did you reach out and find them, and how are they working out?
I tried, I'm not from the area. And so outside my husband's family and, church but I didn't really have a big pool to pull from, like my family's not around here, my old friends or whatever. So anyway, I did reach out on Facebook and calling and whatever to try to, reach out that way and see if I could find some subcontractors that way. And since it was my new business, it was like, I wanted to make sure it was a good fit where they would follow what I'm doing in my company, not just somebody who would do it their own way, because,
Yeah, you want to
And
train
so,
them.
yeah, well, or are they trainable, not to be so desperate that I'm like, I would take anybody. And
Right.
so,
Mhm.
although I was getting desperate enough, but, yeah, so I messaged you and I was like, I've tried. I asked all the college kids I know, all the parents who have kids over 18,
Yep.
I've asked, and it's just, I have none. I have one, but she can't work except for a night once in a while and a Saturday once in a while.
Right.
So, yeah. And so you said, I would just go to those Facebook groups and, I'm here by Hope College.
Mhm.
So you're like, I would find some of those groups and just start saying, here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I pay. And,
Mhm.
and just start interviewing them. And as long as they're not crazy, they can help you. And then since they're subcontractors, we both don't owe each other anything if it doesn't work out,
like a freelancer.
which is, yeah. And I think that is a game changer because they're a free agent. I'm a free agent. We don't have to, if it's not a good fit, it's really okay, which I think is beautiful. I think it's great for everybody, honestly.
It's really good.
So
good situation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I found a bunch of girls and I interviewed them on, like this, and then just threw them in and was like, well, I need a warm body to come help do these huge jobs I got. Right. Yeah. And so, like train. Well, and what I did was I advertised or not advertised, the post I put on Facebook was, these are the characteristics I'm looking for. I can teach you how to organize. And so I got what I wanted because
smart.
It wasn't, I don't need somebody who feels like they know how to do it. I just need somebody who's like trustworthy and will jump in, that is good with our clients. Yeah. Hardworking, definitely super trustworthy. We're in people's homes and and so that's what I found. And it was awesome. I got a college girl and we just sent her back to school and she worked so hard. I had a couple of stay-at-home moms / they have their own little businesses too. And in fact, most of my subcontractors are moms who have their own side hustle and they're doing this mostly for fun. So it's awesome. Friends,
Great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I totally love that. That is awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get a little personal now. So tell me 3 things about you as a person. 3 things about Molly, how you would describe yourself. 3 words.
Okay. Well, most people would say, I'm artistic. I'm an artist.
Artistic.
So I always thought that's what I was going to be, which I believe I think I say, homes are living art and you get to live in your art. And so it kind of makes sense. Yep. I'm a problem solver. And I said I'm a type B introvert because, most
introvert. Okay.
I know I'm a little different as far as an
introvert, but maybe. Yeah.
One-on-one, I do great. In groups, I have a harder time, or I just get stage fright. Like I was a teacher, so I learned how to fake it,
Yeah, make it. Yep.
Yeah. So but I mean, I love solving problems, and I get that from my dad, where it's like, you think just painting would be enough, like just being able to do the thing I love, but it isn't, because it's almost like figuring it out is the fun part. But as soon as I figure out how to solve that problem, it's not. Yes. Yeah. So going into a new person, right. So going into a new person's home in a different situation, different group, different season, it's always a fresh problem. And I love it. So I thrive in that for sure.
I love that too. I like problem solving too, because it's where it is. It's like, oh, you really got to think about it. I like that too.
I know. Like the harder it is, the more I want to do it.
I know. I think we're very similar in that.
Yeah.
Sense. So tell me 3 words that would describe you as an organizer then.
Oh, okay. So kind of similar. I think one of the things that is a standout, and I feel like I need to rewrite my description a little bit, because I just put whatever out there because I hadn't done a lot of jobs, but now I think I'm finding, and we could talk about niche or whatever, but I'm a compassionate person toward my clients. I'm not judgmental. I have been there. I'm a recovered clutter bug myself. Right. Or recovering. Sometimes we still have clutter. And so I think that, being compassionate and non-judgmental is one of the things that people describe me as organizing. So, and then artistic, as far as like the way I like to put it together, I'm always thinking about a focal point and balance, of course, within function. So that's the other thing is I just put like balance, design, and function. So of course there's like form and function, like you need it to work, but can it be pretty? But it's very natural and easy for me. And so it's just fun to say, why should the white go in the middle and the grays all go here? It's just bins, right? Why does it matter? And it's like, because So I think balancing form and function is natural for me. And then just being super compassionate with my clients as far as why they're in that situation. So, I mean, like the client I had last week, another whole condo, and she had me come and do a consult and was like, I just don't understand, she's super successful. She's like, I just don't understand why I can't do this myself, but I can't. I just don't know why. I said, oh, often it's, grief or loss of a loved one or depression, and we kept talking. And then she's like, well, how you were saying that before, it's check, 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 and check. And, and so she's like, I knew right then is when she would hire me because, there's more to it than just, oh, we need to get a paper system. And it's like, but sometimes there's more than that. Yeah. A successful person, like, why is a successful, driven woman not able to do this? I know she can, but she has this block. And it's like, I like to help figure out and help them through that block, and help them. Yeah. So I like to help them find freedom, just like I've gotten. I feel like everybody deserves that. So
great. So you mentioned niche. So what is your niche now? And are you I know you're doing a lot of different types of jobs, and what would you like your niche to be?
Yeah. So I said I would take whatever at the beginning so that I could have pictures and experience. And so I took anything and everything. And it seems like there's sort of seasons. There's like packing season and garage. And we've done garage and basements a lot this summer. And then, it was unpacking and packing. And now, of course, it's a lot of more unpacking and nesting, more organizing. So, I mean, I like the whole house, I love that so much. I love having a huge job and figuring out how to break it into pieces and where to start, or a huge basement and how you can break it into pieces. I would say that's my niche, but I think if there's like one space that's my favorite, it would be closets, just because it has the most color and I like playing with color.
Yeah, it's kind of like an art project in there, isn't it? With all the colors.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I wanted, and especially with a shoe collection, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite. Let me in there. You like closets too?
When I do a consult for a closet, I just cannot wait. Like, when can we book the job? Yeah. Are you available tomorrow or Friday? Yeah, let's start, because I love closets.
Yeah, let's start with the closet.
I love them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So tell me a little bit about you and your family and your traveling and what kind of hobbies you have. What do you like to do when you're not?
Yeah, so the traveling is one of my favorite things, and we have a good income, but on one income, it's been to see family. And so, I've been looking forward to traveling farther and showing my kids and my husband all the places I've gotten to go, like Montana and California and Colorado, the mountains, even up north here in Michigan. So, so we like to travel. We play tennis too. So
nice.
I know,
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, I like to paint and draw. I'm an artist. So that's our family. My kids just started Cub Scouts. So we're sort of a Cub Scout family at the moment.
And doing different stuff with the Cub Scouts. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're involved in our church and just, living the busy young kid life,
How old are your kids?
And they're second and fourth, and I'm doing this is why I think this is so exciting for women. I'm doing this my ideal hours are 9 to 2 so that I can drop off my kids and pick up my kids. Yep. And I mean, I often am on my phone at night having to answer email. I put on my show and I answer my little emails or set up consults or whatever. And it's like, it's from my phone. I sit there in the line to pick up my kids and I'm just on my phone working, and it's just, listening to music, sitting outside. Yeah. It's really awesome. I think it's such a wonderful opportunity. Yeah. I can make my own hours. Yeah.
Time 9 to 2. If I want to take a day off, I want to go see a friend or take a trip, I can take a couple days off. It's so flexible. That's what I love about the job too. It's so easy to manage it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the future now. So you've got this great business started. It's been 6-7 months. What are your goals for the next 12 to 24 months? How do you see Mollywogs? How do you see it going? What do you want to do long term?
Yeah, my next goal, I think we were talking about at the last retreat, the second retreat.
Yep.
We were talking about 10 consults and 10K. So that's my next goal. Trying to do 10 consults here in October.
Awesome.
And I don't know how I could do 10K, but I'm just plugging along. You can't make it happen, just do the right
just keep
things
taking
and
those steps. If you've done 8, 10 is not far behind. So
right.
take those little steps. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. So that's like a monetary, I continuing to travel. We would love to, be able to have another like vacation home, and it's pretty cool because I could still work there. So I think that's a goal, but that's not so much. So a business goal, like like I said, I like to empower women either as my subcontractors, showing them that there's other things to do besides cleaning houses. Nothing wrong with that. Or, like really around here, it's like, so you could substitute if you want a flexible schedule or where you can still be there if your kids are sick. It's like substitute teaching or, which I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that during COVID. So, when this all started, it was like, I don't think so. That or cleaning houses, it seemed like. So impact. I love, my goal would be to have more. So I want to have some lead organizers that are sort of local and into it. And then, where I can pull from Hope College and get some girls that we can. So one of my goals is to have every year, I want to have like a scholarship for a young lady. So I don't know how much it'll be, but I got to this summer in my first couple months, I got to go. My subcontractor was going back to college, and she needed to go buy her dorm stuff. And I know that they're on a major budget and she's on scholarships. And so I went to Target and I just got her a gift card from our company and said that was, so I said to go buy, so that's one of my business goals, is to be able to, empower young ladies, stay-at-home moms, remove that isolation where it's like women empowering and supporting other women. And as far as the company itself, honestly, I have big goals. I want to be the home edit of West Michigan, I want to be, I want Mollywogs to be its own thing and its own look. And we're kind of before the trend here. And so I'm trying to just get my name out there. People don't even know what an organizing company is, not to mention
I think
me.
you're capitalizing on that because you're maybe bigger companies out there. So that's great. And you can educate at the same time.
Right. So I guess we're the only one so far, because of some subcontractors, from what I've heard from my clients, we're the only one that they have found or heard of that has a team that can get it done 3 times as fast. Because there's lots of them. Right. There's people who are cheaper, but they would have to wait several weeks to, and that's a long time. Once they call us, it seems like they're like, oh, I'm desperate. Please come, or like, they're like, I found out I have to move and we have to get out of this place. And one person, they can't wait for one person. So
it takes too long.
It was kind of scary getting those subcontractors, but it's a game changer. And it was a relief. I just didn't know how to do it. So it was really nice being able to troubleshoot with you. That was sort of like a growing pain, like
figuring it out.
I don't know how to capitalize on that. Like, I don't even know where to go, but you're like, you just have this form, for taxes and they're a free agent. And then, so I just say, hey, this job is available. Are you, here's what it pays. Here's where it is. And are you available? And that's how we do it.
Super easy.
Hey,
well, thank you so much, Molly, for this hot seat interview. I hope you had fun, and ladies of John, I hope you enjoyed it too. So have a wonderful day from Northville, Michigan to Zeeland, Michigan. Have a great day.
Yay!
Talk to you soon.
Bye. All right, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.